in a nutshell. My name is Norberto. I'm an assistant professor at this faculty at the Department of Social Sciences. And within the framework of this session, we are going to work together. Before dealing with our very first presentation, I would like to keep you informed about the method, about the methodology that we have to follow. Actually, we have got 4 presentations, and all of you have 15 minutes to deliver your speech. I warn you 5 minutes before the ending, and 1 minute when you have to summarize your presentation. Of course, the audience will have a possibility to pop questions, but at the end of the session, so we are going to listen to all of the presentations. I would advise to jot down your question, and when all of the presentations are delivered, we will have a possibility to pop questions. So, our very first presenter will be Zoller Kata Zsófia. The title of her presentation is Who is Man's Best Friend and Why? Comparing Human-Directed Social Competence across different pet species. The floor is yours.
Welcome everybody. Sorry if I'm quiet, I just recovered from a cold, but anyway, the title of my presentation is Who is Man's Best Friend and Why? And I would like to present my research where we compare the human-directed social competence of different pet species. So, first of all, I would like to define what is social competence. Social competence is the ability of an individual to optimize his social behavior depending on the available social information. And multiple studies suggest that it is evolvable, so it is heritable, it is variable, and it has fitness consequences. We hypothesize that those species that are most commonly kept as pets, so-called companion animals, so cats and dogs, would perform better in social competence-related tasks compared to so-called exotic pets like different small mammal species, reptiles, and pet bird species. And our main question was that in exactly what aspects of social competence can we see differences between these species. So we tested overall 62 pets, and we divided them into 5 distinct groups. These are dogs, cats, parrots, small mammals, and reptiles. And we had an online test, and we conducted these tests through different online platforms such as Zoom and Google Meet, and we had 11 subtests, and we divided our test into 2 main parts, the in-cage and the outside of the cage part, and these 2 parts had 10 minutes of break between them. And we had a lot of variables, overall 45 variables, so I would like to highlight those subtests and those variables which had the most interesting results. So first, I want to talk about the separation subtest where we asked the owner to leave the room for 1 minute, and we measured duration of the animal being close and oriented towards the door, and also the time spent with exploration. For example, on the video up there, you can see a dog who was mainly close and oriented towards the door, where the owner left, while in the second video you can see a rabbit who was mainly exploring while being separated from the owner. And the second subtest I want to talk about is called affiliation, and this has 2 main parts, the active and the passive part, but the active part had more interesting results, so I will detail this part. So here we ask the owner to pick up the pet and show affiliative behaviors towards it. So, for example, pet it, talk to it, and so on. And for example, on the first video, you can see a British dragon who was tolerating this interaction very well. And on the second video, you can see a dog who was tolerating this interaction for a while, but after a certain time, he tried to escape. And the next subtest I want to talk about is called name recall. This has multiple levels, and on the first level we ask the owner to recall the animal using only verbal commands. And here we measure the latency of approach and also the number and tone of commands. And here we can see on the first video a dog who was immediately approaching the owner after being recalled, while on the second video we can see a tortoise who did not approach the owner in the given time. And the second level of this name recall subtest, we ask the owner to recall the pet using verbal commands and additionally attention-grabbing noises such as whistling or clapping, or they could use the environment to make some noise, such as in this case, this owner knocked on the terrarium wall to recall her pet. And the last subtest I want to talk about is called commands, where we ask the owner to make the animal perform different already known commands, and we measure the duration of the animal being oriented towards the owner, and also the number of tests performed and the number and tone of commands. I will not go into details with the statistics. We had a lot of variables, as I said before. We had categorical variables and also ordinal variables, and here you can see the statistical tests we used. And let's move on the results. So first, we can see one of the variables of the separation subtest, the closed door variable, and here we can see significant differences between dogs, small mammals and reptiles, and also between cats, parrots, small mammals and reptiles. And the second variable of this separation subtest was door orientation, where we can see kind of the same differences, so we can see significant differences between dogs, small mammals and reptiles, and additionally between cats, small mammals and reptiles. So these results show that dogs and cats tend to orient and be closed door where the owner left more compared to small mammals and reptiles, and also parrots in the closeness. And the second, as the results of the second subtest I was talking about, here we can see the interaction variable of the affiliation subtest, and you can see significant differences between cats, parrots, and reptiles. This shows that reptiles tolerate the affiliative behaviors of the owner more compared to parrots and the cats. And here you can see the latency of approach in case of the first level of the name recall test, and you can see significant differences between dogs, parrots, dogs, small mammals and dogs and reptiles. So this shows that dogs tend to approach the owner faster when recalled using only verbal commands compared to the later three groups. And when we see the results of the second level of the name recall test, we can see the same differences. Additionally, we can see significant differences between cats, small mammals, and cats and reptiles. So we can conclude that dogs and cats tend to approach the owner faster when the owner uses attention-grabbing noises compared to small mammals and reptiles, and in case of dogs, also parrots. And as for the last bit of results, here we can see the owner orientation variable, and here we can see significant differences between dogs, cats, and dogs and small mammals. So this shows that dogs tend to orient towards the owner more during the competence test compared to small mammals and reptiles. So overall, I would like to say that these results show that dogs and cats show more attachment-like and affiliative behavior towards their owners compared to small mammals and reptiles, and also dogs show a higher level of trainability compared to other species with their increased owner orientation during certain situations, and also it is an interesting finding of the study that reptiles tolerate the affiliative behaviors of the owner more compared to cats and parrots. But I would like to say that in case of this test, owner expectation could have played a big role, and for example, a lot of small mammal and reptile owners did not even try to complete our teaching test, and they didn't know any comments, and maybe these influenced the results of these subtests because they did not expect their animals to learn anything from them, and also maybe this expectation and attitudes towards the pet could influence other subtests as well. And as my main message, I would like to say that if you do not have the time for a dog or a cat, maybe if you do not need the attachment and the affiliative behaviors of a dog or a cat, and it is perfectly enough for you that you can pick up your animal and pet it, then maybe a small mammal or a reptile could be a great choice for you. And here are my references, and I would like to thank my supervisors and the other members of the company and research group, and I would like to thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much.